Welcome back, y'all. This is Jeff Luna and the Love for One Another podcast. I want to welcome you back to this wonderful journey through music, life, and how we navigate through it all together. No, we do not talk about hate here, but we do not act like we are blind to those amongst us filled with hate. So strap yourselves in as we take this musical journey and learn to have love for one another. Hey, and here we are on show number 2. This is the Love for One Another podcast, and I am coming to you live, live in the recording from the Eclipse 6 studios, and I'm trying something new. I'm going to try and record, which I don't care for the way it's coming out, and I'm also getting a click, which I got to turn that off. So I'm recording live, and I'm going to try and put this on YouTube also. And trying to cover all platforms because the last time I did this, I used to do this from my phone and not from a studio. So this is going to be a little different now. And we're going to try and keep this real so I can put it on different platforms. So that way, however you would like to watch or listen, you have different options. And we are also broadcasting live on Real Music Radio and on the Minneapolis Sound Radio. It is also on podcasts. We got iHeartRadio, on Spreaker, on Apple Podcasts. So we are all over the place, and it's something new. We're also getting ready, if you weren't aware of it, I announced it, that we are getting ready to launch the Jelly Bean Johnson joint, and that's with Eddie M. and Jelly Bean, of course, and with John, DJ Jedi, and with Chris Arnell. So we got some things coming up. This thing is shaking all over the place. What am I doing? I'm going to be probably recording from different areas. So on the video, you're going to see different things. And also from different sources. So when we talk about the Love for One Another podcast, there's different things, man. We got different things that we're going to do. And I'm excited about it because the last time I came on for my first show back, I talked about some, it looks weird because I'm not looking at the camera. Why is that? If I put the camera, if I turn it, it's going to be, I had it switched back the other way. But it is what it is, I suppose, right? Anyway, so I talked about listening to music and what it does for you and how it helps you get through times and different times in your life, and what it does. Sometimes we just need to take that break, right? So we talked about taking time to listen, and sometimes with all the craziness going on in the world, and there's a lot of it, and what we did talk about was that we're not going to ignore the things that are going on in life, because there's a lot. But part of the problem is that we tend to get too involved in it and too engulfed, and it's just every day it's hitting us from left and right, and it's hard to learn how to navigate and learn how to get by. And what do I do to get through this craziness? And a lot of times we add to it. I know I do, because I talk about it, and I talk about it a lot on different platforms, and I'm not going to do that here unless that's the subject for the day, but it's not today. So what we do is we try to learn how to get through it. And a lot of it, what I go to a lot of times is music. Different people go through different things. And I know for a lot of people that I speak to, and a lot of Prince fans, we go to Prince music. So, and not just Prince related music. And then sometimes the world revolving around him, where he got his influences from. And a lot of that just happens to be the same as me. Not because I'm copying him or something like that, but because I grew up in a time when I was listening to him and to those same influences. So there's a lot of similarities, and then there's a lot that aren't. But I noticed that if you go through and listen to people tell their stories and this and that, and read books and stuff, that there is a lot of similarities, and a lot of it has to do with the style of music, you know. So we'll dive deep into that. We're gonna actually today. I would like to pick apart a song, and it's interesting to me. So to some people it might not be. To me, it is. So I took a song like Just As Long As We're Together, and I broke it apart, and we're gonna play that and listen to a couple different uh, aspects of it to see what he was doing. It's not gonna be exact, it's not perfect, but it breaks apart the song, and I think it's great. And before we do all that, let's what I'm gonna try and do is be careful how I do this, because the first episode went through perfectly. Nobody said nothing about the music being played yet, and I want to be careful because I still want to respect the music. So we're only going to be playing portions of the songs to make sure we do that. I'm not sure. I really, to be honest with you, as long as I've been doing this, it keeps changing. So what I'm going to do is we'll play some of a song and to get things started, and then we'll get into where we go from there. So let's get into a song right now, and I'm going to have to pick a song. I had one ready. Last week we played Clouds, and then we went into some Marvin Gaye and George Benson. And a lot of that had to do with trying to get through some music that makes you feel better, right? So we're going to still keep that energy going with some feel good music this morning or today, and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you on the other side, and I'll announce the song in just a minute. But until then, we'll see you in just a second. And we are back, and I moved some stuff around. I changed the camera angle and try it. I still feel like I'm looking all over the place, but I think I need to just look into the camera, and that might change that. Anyway, so let's get into it. We're going to play a song by Prince off the same album that I'm going to be working with, Just As Long As You're Together. Just As Long As We're Together, I should say. And this song is one of his big hits off the album, and everybody knows it, everybody's heard all about it, and it's like kind of trying to, now that so many people have so much information about Prince and what he was doing, it makes it a little difficult to try and tell you guys something. You guys are all smart Prince fans that you don't already know. And like I said, this show is not, we're not going to go down the same path we went before, because before it was a little different. So I want people that aren't, that are just kind of like inundated with Prince, to not sit here and go, man, this is just another Prince show and we're just hearing the same things we've heard over before. So what we're trying to do, like I said, is to get that feel good. We want you to feel good about music, feel good about what this stuff does for you, and hopefully take you to the same place. So this is what's in my mind right now, and we're going to get into some Soft and Wet by Prince, and we hope that you enjoy it. We're only going to play a little bit of it, and we're going to move on because we got some cool stuff to do tonight, and I hope you enjoy it. So here's Prince, Soft and Wet. And we are back. That was Soft and Wet by Prince, and what a great song. This, like I said, this is, for me, this show, and I had to record it again because I forgot to hit record the last time. So for me, this show is it's to feel good. It's to feel good. Like, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world. There always has been, and there always will be. And this is the show to make you feel good. It makes me feel good, and I hope it makes you feel good too. That's the point, right? We want to get to where everybody can just get through your day. And if something like this can make you enjoy your day, I know a lot of people listen to podcasts. I listen myself. Sometimes you just want to hear somebody talk about something good, because there's so much bad. And there's always room to talk about the bad stuff. We have that room all the time. But, you know, sometimes, how do we get to a good feeling? You know, sometimes it's music. Like I said, music for me makes me feel good. And we play some good songs. Prince's music always made me feel good. And there's a lot of other ways to get through it too. And that's something that we try to do. So, again, if you can find a place, what is the whole purpose of this? If you look at the title of my show, Love for One Another, and we know Prince promoted Love for One Another too, but what is it about? What is it about? Is it about just a saying or a song or something that sounded cool? No, of course, it's about trying to find a place where we can have love for another person, a love for another human being, to look at somebody without judging them. And that's hard to do. It's very difficult to do because we've been doing that for so long. I mean, think about it. Throughout your day, you see people everywhere you go. There's always going to be people. There's going to be people of all different nationalities, of all different people that are financially they're different than what you are, right? So they might either be better, doing better off, or doing worse. And it's even if you don't mean to, you're constantly kind of going, oh, that person doesn't have this, they don't have that, or why are they living in the street, or why are they got a better car than me, or this and that. It's always like sometimes it can get very hard to get through your day because you not only are you dealing with your personal problems, but it's also that status of why am I struggling, or why are they struggling? How do we help people? How do I not help people? I mean, you can go through a whole day of all these thoughts, and by the time you get home, you're stressed out, and you got a lot of stress. You got the pressure on your shoulders and your back, and you're like, man, why am I my heart? Why do I feel so um, so much pressure, right? And not realizing it, it's your day of all the things that you went through in that particular day. And you might not be a bad person, but sometimes you're just like, man, it's just too much, and I don't want to see it no more. I'm just tired. I'm tired of it. But it's always going to be there, right? So what do we do to get around it? For me, um, this took a while to get to. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like all of a sudden I knew what to say and what to do and had all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I'm still trying to figure out my way. This is helping me get through it and try and figure out my way of how do I make it through every day. And sometimes it's really knowing and remembering and trying to lock into I just need to love that person. They might be going through a hard time. They might be going through some struggles. But if in my day I can smile at them, I can wave, maybe you don't want to draw their attention, you could just go on with your day without passing bad judgment. Sometimes we want to help a little bit more than usual. So you try and give a lending hand or help or something like that. Um, and deep inside, I'm going to tell you something. What happens for me is that you start to get through your day and feel a little better. You start to feel a little better about yourself. You feel a little bit better about the situation. And the next day comes and you go, man, maybe I can do something more. Maybe there's more that I can do to help because it helps me. If it helps me, maybe I can help them. Because let's face it, and I know a lot of people will say you need to just go help people and forget about yourself, this and that. And at this age, we should already know that that's not true. If you're not doing good yourself, you're unable to help other people. You got to be able to be in a good spot yourself to help other people. And it's very important that if you don't have self love, if you don't have a good energy about yourself, then the energy you portray to others is going to be negative, and they're not going to listen. They're not going to feel good about you, and it's going to come off as like they don't like you. But it's really because they're going through enough stuff themselves that now they got your negative energy. So it's important to have a good positive energy in the beginning, so that way you're giving off that positive energy. And I'm telling you, positive energy can go a long ways. Positivity, right? I have that on my truck. Um, because why? Because it might remind somebody that having that positive energy will help you in the long run. So anyway, those are the thoughts of the day, and that's what we're gonna not only focus on, but we're also gonna do this with just as long as we're together. I wanted to pick the song apart. I wanted to give you some cool things about it. Let's get into that. And it's a little difficult because I'm doing audio. Some people are really good at this, man. I'm terrible because I'm doing it all. I'm separating it, and once I figure out how to do it from my computer, everything, I think it'll be a lot better. So right now, I'm also using one of my DAWs, and I got my we're gonna play the music from there, and I'm gonna edit it and put it in here. So we're gonna get into just as long as we're together. We're gonna have it broken down, bring in some of the vocals, and then we're gonna bring in uh,
alright. Everything's alright. Everything's alright. There is nothing that will overcome the love we share. Nothing that will break us apart. Girl, I got to always have you in my hair. Got to always have you in my heart. Ooh, baby, your place or mine.
Come back in with the bass.
I'll get the music, baby, you bring the wine. Just as long as we're together. Together and nothing ever. Just as long as we're together. Everything's alright. Everything's alright. Everything's alright. Everything's alright.
Let's drop out the bass. Say the bass back in.
Just as long as there is you, I'll be around doing what you want me to. Just as long as there is me, I'll be around, see your melody. Just as long as we're together, everything's alright, everything's alright. Just as long as we're together, everything's alright, everything's alright.
Just so
Just as long as we're together, everything's alright, everything's alright. Don't you know that ain't nothing better? Everything's alright, baby, you know that you know.
section coming in. I wasn't gonna play the whole thing, but my goodness, it's something about that. Man, let me mute this. The bass line and the drums for me is what does it. I know everybody's different. You got people that want to hear the vocals, people that want to hear the all the keyboards and the strings and all that stuff. But those bass and drums in this song is just hitting, and this is the best I could get. I probably could get it better, um, but it's just amazing to me, man. And to hear the way he was playing that percussion, you got to remember back in this time, this wasn't like I can't come in here and use my machine and this and that. And even though I would prefer to record live, which I'm hoping that once my drum room is done, I can do that. And that's going to take some time, don't get me wrong. But Prince was doing it. Prince was doing it and to that level. And it's amazing to me because the what it takes to do that is just amazing. So I just wanted to display that for you and give you. Would like to do a song breakdown. I would like to bring some other people, some guests in that that maybe recorded back in the day that can talk more about it and what it takes to do that. Excuse me, but it's just amazing to me. I think it's very. Uh, uh, it can show you something when you break a song down and listen to it. We all listen to music, we all listen to the songs, and we know how amazing they are and what they've done for us and this and that. But to really break a song down and listen, especially depending on what your preference is. Like I didn't actually play the vocals by themselves, um, but I've been breaking other songs down and listening, and I'm just amazed at the vocals and what it took to do these vocals, man. And we've all heard the stories, and we know how he used to lay on his back in the dark and this and that at that time to be able to get those vocals out. But just amazing in itself. So there you have it. That's just as long as we're together, broken down. And I'm sorry I talked through it, just couldn't help it. But this is a podcast, this is a show. We don't want to. I can go on the radio station and just play songs, but here we want to talk about them a little bit and get into them a little bit deeper, and also again, what does the songs do for you? These particular songs from this period of time really did something because it's amazing at his age. At it gave you that feeling like I can do anything because of what I heard him do at that. I'm never gonna be at that level, but you can be something, you can be somebody, you can do something because of what he presented in that musical world. And there's people that all over, you pick any form of entertainment that people look up to as an inspiration to say, I can do something more. I don't have to just be what I am today. And even though that's good enough and that might be the best, but you can always strive to do more. You can be better. You can take what you're doing and be better at it, you know? So sometimes we look at these songs and this music and got to find it that's what it does for me. It makes me want to strive to do better. So I'm going to go to the next segment and we'll talk to you on the other side. I got to switch this. So hope you're enjoying it. This is Love for One Another podcast. I'll be right back. All right, and here we are. That was a quick break. It's always nice to be able to pause stuff and come on back. But we are going to do this half-hour show because it's a song breakdown. We are talking about Love for One Another, and we touched on that a little bit. And this is the song breakdown version. We took care of that with Just As Long As We're Together by Prince off his first album, For You. And we'll be talking more about that in the coming future. But we also, like I said, we also want to touch on other music that made you feel good, songs that we remember from the past. If you weren't around at the time, if you weren't around um, in the 80s and maybe you're kind of listening and you're like, this is a lot of old stuff. It's a good, just take the venture with us. It's to make you feel good. It's to make you feel positive. It's also to showcase what was around and what was good and make have hopefully turn you on to something maybe you weren't familiar with, or maybe you heard your parents play it in the past and you're like, yeah, I remember those songs, but it's not something that that you're into. That's okay. But when we play these songs, we break them down and we talk about feeling good about music. Maybe you can listen to it and just say, you know what, those, to be honest with you, they were good songs, and I understand today's music. It may not be everything that we feel us older people is um, is something to compare to it. As generations change, music changes, and that's a good thing. It's okay. It's a positive thing. There's nothing wrong with it. If it's what makes you feel good, listen to it, love it, learn everything about it. It may not be as technical as in the past because nowadays things are changing, but that's technology. It's going to change. In fact, one of the topics we're going to talk about in the future is about how music changes and with the times and with technology. And a lot of people talk bad about it, and I'm one included. Sometimes I'm just like, because the substance isn't there, or the years it took to learn an instrument, or the time it took to learn to produce a song and put things together. But this is the world we're living in. You can't go back. You can't go backwards. You got to be able to learn how to go forward. And how do we go forward with the new technology, but respecting the work that was done in the past? And this is one of the avenues. Learn from the old stuff and project it into the new stuff. And I'm not talking about just sampling and this and that, but also what it took to make that music, and whether the style changes, whether it's something that we agree with or not. That's okay. Like I said, music is going to change, and that's just the way things go. I mean, it's happened all through time. You can't stop it, and I don't think we should stop it. We should just remember it and respect it. And give me just a second. I'm gonna pause this just for a second. I'm gonna be editing, so if you see things cutting back and forth, you know why. But one of the things I wanted to do was to also, well, along with the years that we've been playing this music, the year that we're in was 1978, 1979. And so what we're going to do is play some of the songs from that time. Like I said, we're going to play a little bit of it, let you know what was around at the time, and still feel good music. Feel good about it, enjoy it. And this is one of the songs I really like. We used to play it in a band I had, and we did a good job with it. I liked it. It's a good song, and it always brought about it. You DJs, I'm sure you know about it, but it's one of those songs that you can always play, and everybody's always gonna have a good time. And that's Boogie Oogie Oogie. All right, that was Taste of Honey with Boogie Oogie Oogie. Sounds funny, but I'll tell you, she was killer on bass. You gotta watch those videos and research the music. It's all for a good time, and that's what it made you do. I'll tell you, when I DJ'd, that was a given. Just had to play it. And it was one of those songs that always got the people dancing, always got them having a good time. Even though it was a different time, it still worked, and it still works today, I believe. Good music is good music, can't beat it. So we've talked about this whole concept of love for one another, and what it does for people and what it can do for you. It really can change things. And I'm telling you, one of the things is how do you be true to it and really make it work for you? Because one of the things that's the hardest thing to do is that we lie to ourselves, right? We can say we're gonna do something, but we really don't. It's just like dieting. I'm telling you, one of the hardest things to do is to diet and don't lie to yourself. There's people that get into it and they get in, when you see them going to the gym all the time and they're so focused. There's a reason for that. They got to be focused. You have to be, because if you don't, you're going to fail. And it's okay to fail, but then you get back on it. And I'll tell you, for years growing up, when I was young, Man, like everybody else, every other story, it's easy to do, man. You can gain weight, lose weight. Some people weren't, it wasn't as easy, but some people, I mean, I used to run, I used to ride bikes, I used to work out, I was in the gym all the time, and it was really a way of life. You had to be in it, you had to keep doing it, and you can't stop because once you stop, you just start gaining weight or you get out of that shape that you were in. And even in my 40s, when I started boxing, and that was hard to get back into because I was out of shape. And it took time, man. I was telling you, I was throwing up. I was, it was hard because there's a lot of youngsters, when you get in the fitness class and they're like, oh, it's fitness. Before you know it, you're pretty much boxing because you can't really do one or the other. I guess you can, but you gotta, the main group you're with has to be doing the same thing. And the main group I was with was boxing. So me and this other guy, the other guy was in his 50s, and at the time I was in my 40s, and I took him as an inspiration because I was trying to keep up with him. So it was a tough run, but after about I did it for about 3 almost 4 years of boxing, and I was in the best shape. Yeah, I can't say the best shape of my life, but I was in great shape, and still I never got my six pack back. I never got all that back as to when I was young, and that's okay. But I gave it a run. Now I'm in my 50s, and I'm like, man, I got to do something again because I'm falling behind. So this is what I mean by where's your dedication on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Something as easy as it sounds, love for one another. Um, if you got to force it, then something's wrong, right? Like anything, if you got to force it, then something's wrong. But if you find it in your heart and you really find that it starts becoming easy. It starts becoming like a daily thing. Like, wow, I don't really have any animosity toward these people, toward my people, toward somebody I see in the streets, toward getting cut off on the freeway. Used to, oh my God, it used to be the worst thing ever. I used to just go crazy. Now it's a point of, you know what, man, he must want it more than me. And I'm still gonna say something, but I'm not gonna chase him or get mad or yell at him and stuff like that. Um, and it's made my life easier. It took away that stress of that anger. Anger is a very um what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very easy thing to get caught into, and it's a simple exit. Anger, right? Man, I gotta extend this again. I gotta get my timing down on recording on different devices. So I'm gonna have to edit. Man, I got a lot of editing to do. So anyway, I'm gonna pause this for a minute. I'll be right back with you. And I'm back. I tell you, I'm trying to give. This is gonna be. Bear with me, man. I'm telling you, it's been a while since I've done this. So I gotta catch up with technology. So anyway, so like I was saying, it's something that you you gotta find your space. You gotta find how do I get to this without lying to myself? Because I can go out any day and say, today I'm going to show love for one another. I'm really going to practice what I preach. And throughout the day, I'm like, this and that, and I forget about it, and blah, blah, blah. All this stuff happens. We all have lives that we live that you get caught up in it, and you're like, I don't got time for that, right? But it takes away from your own self being. Like, do I really have this anger toward people? We see it all day long. We see it all day long. There's a lot of anger out there. It's not healthy. It's not healthy as for ourselves. It's not healthy as a society. The anger and the laughing about things. I love to laugh. Man. I love comedy. I love slapstick. I love to laugh at things that happen to myself throughout the day. But the one thing I don't like is to laugh at other people's pain. Now, mind you, I find things that I see funny on social media, like people tripping and falling, and that's just comedy. I don't like when they get hurt, like hurt. Like there's videos where people, why am I getting this on my social media? Um, but comedy is okay. Comedy is funny, and here's the thing: don't get me wrong. Whatever I'm saying isn't that. Oh well, you should do this. You do whatever makes you happy, man. What I'm doing is trying to reach out to people that are trying to find that ground of how do I live this life of acceptance and stop trying to judge people and be more about the love for one another, loving people as people, just people just trying to get by, trying to survive, and stop having this animosity toward people and living their lives, because there's a lot of problems with that comes. We see it all day long. The judgment of people of what they're wearing, what they're doing, who they're with, if they're in a same-sex marriage, if they're in a or they're in a biracial marriage, or if they're in uh, you got right now we got all this stuff in the streets. We got people rushing to join to go and kick people out of this country, and we see that, and it's like, man, I got my heart hurts, right? And there's this issue right now with especially for guys, if you say that, then you're looked at upon a certain way. So there's some people that still live in that fear of, I can't be seen this way, I can't look like I'm weak, or somehow that I'm giving into this woke. They got all these names that they give it titles, and it takes away from your basic feelings. Just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean that you got to put me in this category, and all of a sudden everybody's making fun of you and laughing at you, and you get people calling you names and this and that. And that's like, man, we shouldn't be living in that time no more. That was a time when we were younger, and to be still doing that just doesn't make any sense. So sometimes it's okay to say, you know what, I want to get past that and beyond that. And I get it. It's a tough road to take, and we we're not, sometimes we're just not strong enough, myself included. It's just, it's a tough road. So here we are back at music. How does music make us happy and make us feel good, and just get us through the day, man? I want to just get through the day. And a lot of us work, we can't hear it. My phone keeps on making noise. What's going on? Anyway, so just trying to navigate, and that's the point, right? So we're gonna read some things. I got some other stuff planned that we can get into, and really get into how we feel as far as things that people wrote in the past, and to help you. And a lot of it's just inspirational stuff. It's not like they put it out and said, hey, if you read this, you're going to be a better person. No, it's just people's thoughts. Like, a lot of this is just thoughts, and how do we feel about certain things. If we get somebody today that we see changing their way of thinking in real time, if you take somebody like Joe Rogan, here's a guy that I thought was funny in the past, and he had some shows and Fear Factor and stuff, and I was like, all right, I kind of like the guy. And then he got kind of political, and he started this podcast, and he started doing really well and became an entertainer in that form. Didn't agree with what he was doing anymore and what he was saying. And then recently you see him kind of changing again, because he's like, wait a minute, some things are wrong. So you're watching people, and depending on where you stood on it, like, wow, okay, I liked him before, I don't like him now, I liked him, why is he changing, I don't like what he's saying now. So you're just instead of looking at maybe him as a person, why he's changing and why he's thinking a certain way, and saying, you know what, sometimes the you separate what the person perceived, what perception was, and put in the human factor. And sometimes it takes people time to figure that out. And I'm not judging the dude. I don't know him from whatever, and I don't listen to his show all the time. I listen to some episodes to try and understand what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I'm not a fan. But I do like that he's showing some humanity, and that's what we need. Everybody to show just a little bit of humanity, man. If you can show a little bit of humanity, then you can start getting. We can start getting that change we're looking for, right? It might not be exactly what we want, but we just want people to care about other people, care about what's going on in their lives and what's happening around us so we can try and have a better society. I don't think we're going to see it in our lifetime, to be honest with you. I just don't. I think our time comes and goes. I'm hoping that there's something more afterward. We'd like to believe that because I feel like this is our chance to try and learn, right? I like to be like we're learning right now so we can strive to be something better, whatever it might be in the future. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's a specific great answer. But if we're failing now to just do the basic thing of being there for each other, how do we advance beyond this life if we can't be here right now for each other? We're living in a world where we would rather separate people and we're not caring about how they're treated. That's not even a concern. I'm not going to say everybody. I've seen a lot of people out there that do care. But when you have two different forces fighting against each other, like if you have nothing but positive energy, then you get a positive outcome. But when you have positive and you have negative, what happens? They push each other away, right? So you're to think that we're going to reach this plateau of some great future or great outcome. I don't see it happening in this lifetime. But along the way, I think we can try and strive to have something better for ourselves or make ourselves a better people. So it's a practice. It's a practice. Like, let's just keep practicing it, and maybe we can get there, right? So I'm hoping that somewhere in the future we can see this. That if we all push for it, if we all aren't afraid to say it, if we're not afraid to be part of it, like don't worry about what side you're on. If you're, we've created. This is the worst I've seen it. This is nothing new though. It's all through time. There's always been this side and that side, red and blue. There's always been. I mean, you can, you go through all through time. There's always been this separation. And the easiest way for people to get what they want is to keep people separated. When people come together, it's not a positive thing for people who want to benefit from it, right? And I'm talking about benefiting financially. If somebody wants to benefit from it in their personal life to make them feel better, then you want that unity. You want people to be together. When you have people together, when you have people coming together, you have something bigger. You have something that things can't change. You can't change uh, to a negative when you have so much positive going on. It takes time, and they got to break you down until you can start. People start giving in. But when it's a natural occurrence, when things are just happening, and people are coming together, then it's a stronger force than the negative side. I don't know if you've experienced that. I've seen it in my own personal life when I had so much positive going on. I just had this feeling of positive. Everything just kept on hitting, man. It's like, wow. I'm not talking about like, oh, I won the lotto and I won at the casino and stuff like that, because I wasn't concerned with the positive things that happen in my life to be of some type of personal financial gain. I was looking at it like, what positive things are going to happen in my life to just make things better. Make things better. You got to stop. Like, what's your expectation? Is your expectation that a better life means that you're going to have more in your pocket? Or is your expectation like, I feel like something good's going to come along and you're waiting for this big sign? Like, we're all waiting for this big sign from God. And we have this expectation that when it comes, it's going to be so big that it's just going to be blinding and you're going to be like, you can't avoid it. But you know what? Sometimes you got to think it might be happening now, even as bad as things are, man, as bad as this world is. Sometimes you got to look around you and say, man, you know what? I'm walking, I'm waking up, I'm living, I'm breathing, I'm doing things that some people can't do. I'm living this life And sometimes it's really hard. Like sometimes things are really hard, but I get through my day. The next day comes, I'm still here. The people I love are still around me. I'm like, and then we lose people along the way. That's true. But sometimes you got to take those things that are happening. And however, if you're a person of faith, then you take it as a blessing. If you're a person that just believes in good karma, then you take it as, man, I've been positive in my life. I feel good about other people. I got to take the wins and push for more. Like just be like, okay, this was great. Don't look at it as like man, why don't I have better? Why don't I have more? Maybe the better is your health. Maybe the better is the people around you. It doesn't always have to be financial. We all would like that, of course. And why? I'm telling you, money don't solve. Money solves the immediate problem, but it don't solve the problem in your soul. It's not going to cure that whatever is ailing you. Um, Money is something that wasn't part of the plan. You know, I think the plan was to see how people take care of each other, see how you care for each other, see how you love one another. Can you do it? Can we as people accomplish that goal? And throughout history, we've succeeded and we have failed. And we have failed in a drastic way, man, to where we are purposely hurting people on purpose. All through time, it's been something that's happened. And if you look at it right now, we are building camps to hurt people. Now, on what degree? Oh well, we're just holding them, But that's you're putting people in a negative situation when they were already in a negative situation to begin with. So we're not helping. We're not lending that hand out to help your neighbor, to help somebody get through a difficult time. So where's the positive going to come from this? What positive outcome is going to come from the negative um, projection of what you're doing? And we as people, we may not be part of it, but it's happening right at this time. And everybody's gone through it throughout time. There's been atrocities, there's been things. So how do we navigate that and get to, we can all of course say things like, oh, it's the law, this and that, but we need to get to a place to where we go, wait a minute, these are people. How do we want to treat others and be positive? Be positive. Be a positive person. So anyway, it's something to think about. We're gonna keep touching on it through every show, of course, because that's the topic of the show. But we also want to talk about great music and what music does for you in this aspect and how it associates to being part of something bigger, something better. So if you're here, to listen and to try and grasp to what we're saying and what I'm talking about, but also to talk about the music. And I'm glad we were able to break down a song. It was only a half-hour show, and I'm glad that it turned out to be more. So anyway, so this is the Love for One Another podcast. YouTube now. I'm going to try. Hopefully I can edit this to make it look good and get it up on YouTube, and also um, put it on the radio stations so people can listen. And just happen to have a radio station. What do you know? And I want to thank everybody on there, Christopher Arnell for Real Music Radio, and Mr. DJ Jedi from the Minneapolis Sound Radio, and everybody that's affiliated with all of this. There's so many names, but of course, Marty and Jellybean, I thank you for really being part of what makes me push harder, because of how much you guys help people and have been there for people and done things for people in this aspect. And it means a lot. So, and DJ Jedi, what you've done. And Christopher now, solid as a rock. Just, can't say anything better about him. And all the other people that have helped in the past. There's so many people that have been part of this and been part of making this grow. So I want to thank you. And I usually end with a song, but I think I'm running out of time. So if I can chuck a song in here at the end, something to, again, show that just feel good for a few minutes, man. Why not? And I'm gonna put something on here at the end for you, and I will see you next time, next show. Until then, you guys take care. And for the people that are watching, I don't know, was it okay watching, seeing me for this long? I don't think so. You guys take care. Peace, and we'll see you next time.